Former undercover cops. What is the craziest thing you had to do to not blow your cover? I was undercover at this small auto shop. The owner had this weird tradition. He'd order pizza whenever we made a big sale. After 6 months, something started bugging me about it. The delivery guys were never in uniform, never the same person twice, always after closing. But the owner was so friendly, treated me like family. I thought I was just being paranoid. Tonight I'm alone, finishing paperwork. Owner walks in at 11 p.m., grinning ear to ear. Great work today. Pizza time. My stomach drops. Every pizza place in town closed hours ago. Guy shows up in a designer hoodie, Rolex watch. As he sets down the boxes, I notice his hands, clean, manicured, gold rings. Who delivers pizza looking like that? The owner hands him a stack of cash. Way too much for pizza. I keep my face blank, but my heart's racing. Then I see something that makes my blood run cold. 6 months of deliveries and I'd never noticed before. The boxes, completely dry. No grease stains, not a single one. The owner opens a box, grabs a slice. Here, try this one. His smile doesn't reach his eyes. I knock over my coffee. Sorry boss, let me clean this up. Slip away to the bathroom, call back up. Turns out those pizza boxes, full of cocaine. Each delivery guy was from a different cartel, and me spilling that coffee saved my life. The slice they offered was laced. They were testing if I was a cop.
What is something a guest in your house did that made your jaw drop? It was early November 2013 and my daughter was just 3 weeks old. I was running on no sleep, buried in laundry, and barely holding it together. Family kept visiting, claiming they wanted to help, but in reality, they just held the baby, took pictures, and left me with an even bigger mess. One afternoon, as I struggled to keep my eyes open, I overheard my aunt whispering to my cousin in the kitchen. "She looks awful," she muttered. "Some women just aren't natural mothers." My cousin scoffed. "I don't know how the baby isn't sick already in this mess." Their laughter sent a lump straight to my throat. Not once had they asked if I needed help. Then my mother arrived. For a moment, I felt relief. Finally, someone who'd understand. She handed me a bag with a proud smile. "I brought you something." I opened it, expecting food or maybe something for the baby. Instead, I found cleaning supplies. "Figured you'd let yourself go a little," she said, eyeing the clutter. I had given up on the idea of real support when my friend Jana texted, asking if she could stop by. I hesitated but said yes. She arrived, had tea with me, and didn't bombard me with advice. Instead, she quietly stood up, washed my dishes, tidied my home, and cooked dinner for everyone. Then, just as quietly, she left. My jaw still drops when I think about it. That, dear relatives, is how you visit a new mother.
The first time I held my baby was in a courtroom. For years, my wife and I tried everything. After 3 miscarriages that shattered our hearts, we spent our 10th anniversary in a fertility clinic instead of Paris. Specialists across 3 states, experimental treatments, our savings depleting with each appointment. Hope became a currency we couldn't afford anymore. Then my sister called. She'd become pregnant at 19. "I'm not ready," she whispered through tears. Without hesitation, we offered to adopt. For 7 months, we prepared a nursery, chose a name, attended her appointments. 2 weeks before the due date, she disappeared. No calls, no texts. The hospital confirmed she'd delivered a healthy girl, then checked out against medical advice. I hired a private investigator who found her 3 states away. She'd reconnected with the father, convinced they could make it work. 6 months of legal battles followed. My sister refused mediation. Her boyfriend's family had money, attorneys. Today, the judge delivered his verdict. As my sister sobbed in the back row, he cited her history of instability, the boyfriend's previous drug charges, and our proven commitment. The bailiff placed my niece, now legally my daughter, in my trembling arms. My sister's eyes met mine across the courtroom, filled with both sorrow and understanding. She nodded once, knowing her daughter would grow up loved.
I thought my daughter hated me. She never looked at me when I spoke, never hugged me back, and screamed if I touched her the wrong way. As a first-time mom, I was devastated. All the books said eye contact and cuddling should come naturally, but with Emma, nothing came naturally. At 2, most kids said a few words. Emma barely spoke. When she did, it was to repeat TV show phrases. Let it go," she'd sing, staring at her spinning toys, never at me. Her 3rd birthday was a nightmare. When everyone sang happy birthday, Emma covered her ears and hid under the table, rocking. One mom whispered, "Maybe she's just shy," but I knew it was more than that. At daycare, kids played together. Emma sat alone, spinning toy car wheels for hours. She'd line them up in perfect rows. If anyone disturbed her line, she'd have a complete meltdown. When I picked her up, other kids ran to their parents showing artwork. Emma didn't even look up when I called her name. Her teacher sent home notes. Emma refused to participate again. Or, Emma had difficulty transitioning today. Grocery stores were torture. The lights, the noises. She'd scream until her face turned red, her body rigid in the cart. I'd rush out with half my shopping as people stared. Once, a woman said, "You really need to discipline that child." I went to my car and cried. At home, Emma had strict routines. Her stuffed animals had to be lined up by size on her bed. Move one teddy bear an inch, and she'd cry until I fixed it exactly right. Bedtime. Bath for exactly 10 minutes. The same 3 books in order. Lights out with her blue nightlight, never the red one. I visited 5 pediatricians. Most said she was developing at her own pace, or that I was being anxious. My mother told me I was overreacting. My husband started working late, avoiding the meltdowns that filled our evenings. I felt so alone. Was I a bad mother? Did she sense my anxiety? The guilt crushed me daily. Finally, one doctor actually listened. He observed Emma for an hour, asked detailed questions, then said words that changed everything. "Your daughter has autism spectrum disorder." I cried for days, not from sadness about autism, but because finally someone believed me. I wasn't crazy or a bad mother. There was a reason for everything we'd experienced. I dove into research. I joined support groups and found specialized therapists. I learned about sensory processing, how grocery store lights that seemed normal to me were painful for Emma. I transformed our home. I created visual schedules with pictures so Emma could see what was coming next. I bought noise-canceling headphones. I learned which foods she could tolerate, crunchy, never mixed, and which clothes she could wear, no tags, soft fabrics only. Most importantly, I learned to enter Emma's world instead of forcing her into mine. I stopped demanding eye contact. I played beside her instead of insisting she play my way. Gradually, things improved. By 5, she could tell me when something bothered her instead of just screaming. By 6, she made eye contact on her terms. By 7, she spoke in full sentences, and teachers were amazed by her memory for dinosaur facts, her special interest. Parents' night at school changed me forever. Her art hung on the wall, a painting of us holding hands under a rainbow. Below it, she'd written, "My mom never gave up on me." Other parents saw a simple drawing. I saw a miracle. Every therapy session, every meltdown, every small victory that led to this connection. Last week, a cashier dropped a jar that shattered. 3 years ago, instant meltdown. This time, Emma said, "That was scary, but I'm okay. Can I wear my headphones now?" I realized she wasn't the only one who had changed. She taught me patience I never knew I had. She taught me to celebrate tiny victories other parents take for granted. The daughter I thought hated me became my greatest teacher. She showed me that things that seem broken are often just beautifully different. Now when I see her lining up toys or reciting dinosaur facts, I don't see autism first. I just see Emma, exactly the daughter I was meant to have.